So I just got up here to the farm. It is currently 3:55 p.m. and wait, I think I see a deer in the road. Would you look at that? Hello. Oh, two deer. Hello, friends. Huh. What do you know? See how close we can get. Huh. I have never seen this. That does not happen very often. They must know it's not deer season. It's amazing how well they blend in. This is literally right off the road. Not even 30 yards. I'm gonna see if I can get out and get a closer look at him. Oh my gosh, no way. Two turkey hens just crossing the road. Unbelievable. What I was trying to say while I was driving is where we're at currently. It is spring turkey season. And the ranch manager just told me that he saw two turkey hens in the road. Those are probably the same two that he was talking about. So it looks like they're starting to move. Here in a little bit, I'm going to go up to headquarters and get geared up, find a good spot, see if I can call a Tom in. I'm all geared up now. Got all the stuff I needed for a sit. And so right now I'm on my way down to the tower blind field. I have a decoy in my game bag. I'm going to try to find a good place to set her. And then I'm probably either going to sit in the tree stand or the tower blind. I haven't really decided yet, but we've been getting a lot of pictures of turkeys coming in there of an evening. So I figured it's best to walk down there instead of driving the truck. And I'm currently on my way there right now. So far I have not seen or heard any other birds since those two hens that crossed the road. However, we did hear a bobwhite hen up by the house. She made a contact call and I answered her, and she practically came running in. So that was a really cool experience. It's a shame I couldn't get my camera ready in time, but it's good to know that we also have some quail here still yet, because they have been struggling for several years. There was a time we had a bird dog when they started to bounce back about 10 years or so ago, but sadly he passed away, and since then we haven't had very many birds, so that's a little discouraging. But good news is the deer and the turkey are doing well. So I'm almost to the tower blind. I'm gonna see, I might do some glassing before I get to the field and see if I spot anything moving. Scissortail. Just sitting on the fence. Oh, there he goes. Alright, so I've made it up into the tree stand and I've set up the hen decoy. And she is right over there. Not very far from where I'm at. I'm pretty sure they travel this tree line pretty often. But honestly, they could come from anywhere. So I'll have to keep my eyes out. And I'll probably try a few calls here in a second. So we'll see if we get any action in the next however long we're in here. No answer yet. Tom up on the hill. He's answered multiple times, but I don't think he's coming. He might be roasted. I don't see the turkey anywhere. And I'm surrounded by deer. There's one walking by right now. So, no luck this time. ears everywhere, and I saw a skunk walk by my stand. So I'm having the ranch manager come get me. Turkeys are still very vocal, but I think they're all in the tree by now. I'm not even sure if it's legal light at this point, so I think we'll call it for now and probably try again in the morning. Alright, so morning 2 following the previous hunt. It's now 6:04 a.m. and I'm currently leaving HQ to try out another spot. We heard a certain gobbler gobbling multiple times in one specific spot, so I'm gonna try to head down there and get set up before official sunrise. Get a spot picked out, set up the decoy, and try out some calls. I'm hoping I get there before he gets off the roost. That way we can catch him right as he's leaving and maybe have some success, but we shall see. Alright, so I just got out to the field. I'm going to try to pick out a spot here pretty quick because they are gobbling everywhere this morning. I'm hoping that one bird isn't already heading this way, because if he sees me, I'm out of luck. But if I can get moving here pretty quick and find a good spot to set up, should be in good shape. So, let's see what we can do this morning. best to not call right now. I'll see what I can do. He's got a beautiful fan. I think I saw a pretty long beard, too. It's just going to be really hard to sneak over to him. I don't know if I'd be able to set up the hen again without spooking him away. And also the hen is way over there. So I'm inching my way closer. I know this isn't how you typically do it, but I've called at him multiple times. But he's not coming in because he already has a hen with him. So I might try to just continue sneaking over there while he's distracted. So I've snuck over a little further in the tree line. And right out there in that opening is where that gobbler and his hen were. So I've covered quite a bit of ground. The bad thing is, when I was crouched down, a little ways over that way, they started making their alarm call, which is not what you want to hear when you're turkey hunting, because that means they're alarmed. That's their alarm call. And also, I can see a cow over there grazing. I think it pushed them further into the trees. But regardless, they're not in the spot they were in. I still heard a turkey gobble in the distance over that way. So I think they're still active. So it might be possible for me to either sneak up on them further that way or set up somewhere else and try to call another one in. But regardless, I'm going to try to get a closer look and see what we can do from here. Rabbit. Thought I saw something move. He blends in super well. I only saw him because he moved slightly. But not the quarry I'm after. And I don't want to disturb him, so I'll keep moving. Pretty rabbit, though. Okay, still making my way. I've almost made it to the pond. And also, I don't know why I didn't think of this before, but I used my my chest harness for my binoculars to set up a makeshift body cam. So if I'm able to sneak up on some birds, maybe we can see it from my first person perspective, at least to some degree. So cows are out grazing. I think they kind of push the turkeys further into the trees. So that might, in a way, that might help me, because their noise might drown out mine when I'm approaching. And I can still hear the turkeys gobbling in the distance that way. So I'm going to try to make my way over there. Again, I know this is not the typical sit and call method, but I did try that for about 2.5 hours, I think. And I got several replies, but nothing ever came in. So I'm going to keep moving here and see if I can sneak up on the birds. That's a hen, I can't tell. Okay, so I'm back at the hunting cabin, and unfortunately I did not get my turkey this morning. I think the issue was I sat a little too far away from where the bird was strutting, so I couldn't get him to come in. And also you had that hen already with him, so it's just really hard to call a tom in when he's already with a female. So I tried to do a little, I guess you could call it spot and stalking. I know you're probably not supposed to typically do that with turkeys, but I knew if I just continued sitting in the same spot, I wasn't going to have any luck. So did quite a bit of walking, quite a bit of calling, and I heard some replies, I heard some gobbles, but I think we were kind of just playing cat and mouse. Like, I would call, and then I'd hear him, maybe see him very briefly, and then that was it. I wasn't able to close the gap. Not quite able to thread the needle this time, but it's alright if the animal wins once in a while, so might try again this afternoon. Alright, so a little update. Ranch manager and I did go hunting this morning, and there was quite a bit of activity. I went back to the spot where I saw that tom yesterday morning. Got a little closer this time, but unfortunately he roosted a little further away from his spot the previous time, and he actually flew down and landed in the opposite field. So that put us at a disadvantage. And also, when we found out where he was, we called at him and tracked him by sound. We found him in the other field with 3 other hens. So obviously it's very, very difficult to call a tom in when he's already occupied with the ladies. So we tried to approach from another angle, but unfortunately we weren't really able to close that gap. So, didn't succeed this time, but that's a part of... Here's the calves. They got out somewhere. Anyway, that's a part of hunting, a lot of people don't realize that most of the time when you go hunting, you are not going to succeed. And that's just part of it. That's part of the experience. But I would be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed, a little discouraged. But, I still enjoyed myself. I enjoyed my time doing so. Might try again next week. Who knows? But, it was a good experience, and I had a good time. There's an old saying that says a bad day of hunting or fishing is still better than a good day at work. So, that's just part of it, like I said. And got to gain some experience from this, and I kind of know a little more what to do and what not to do next time. Especially because that first morning I could have gotten that bird. I had just sat too far away. I think I was just a little overly cautious and sat further away than I needed to. And he also had a hen with him that morning as well. So the turkeys win this round. That's okay. Like I said, that's just part of the experience. So the only thing I wish we had done this morning is get some more photos and videos of the turkeys, but we were just focused more on closing in the gap and trying not to be heard or seen. That's okay. So yeah, that's pretty much a rundown of what happened this morning. Heard several calls. We called multiple times. He responded multiple times. Just couldn't get him to come in when he was already with the hens. But anyways, we will see what happens next time. So I don't know if you could hear that, but there's a Jake just around the corner. I accidentally just stumbled onto him. There's actually 3 of them. I think it was 2 Jakes and a hen. So I was out hunting, walking around, calling and listening, and I was just about to call it, so I was heading back to the house. And just as I was about to go through the gate, I saw something jump up, and I saw 2 big red heads and a gray head. So from all I could tell, it was just 2 toms and a hen. So I thought, oh, you gotta be kidding me. I'm completely unprepared. So I jumped out of the truck really quietly. I turned it off. I stepped onto my property and was trying my hand at stalking them. I know that's not really how you're supposed to do it, but again, completely unexpected. So I slowly started closing the gap. At one point they actually flew up because I guess they saw me, but then they stayed in the area, so that's when I realized, okay, these are probably young birds. They're probably Jakes, because I don't think a mature tom would have hung around like that. And I looked around in my binoculars, and sure enough, I saw a little bitty beard, about that long. So definitely young birds, not particularly what I'm after. So, and even if I was, I don't think I'd be able to catch up to them at this point. So we'll let them go this time. Who knows, maybe something more desirable will show up, but I'm gonna keep an ear out, and I'll be sure to update again if I'm successful. So. You gotta be joking. I just made it back to the truck and this turkey hen comes out. This may sound crazy, but I just heard her gobble. Unfortunately, I didn't have my phone out because I didn't even know she was there. But she let out a very imperfect little gobble. I've never heard a hen gobble before. I've read that they can do that, but I've never heard it for myself. Isn't that something? Oh man. What do you think, Sterling? You see that turkey? You see her? Oh, these birds. They've had me running all across the country. But I love them though, they're great. Just like the deer, the place wouldn't be the same without them. Hopefully by now most of the hens are sitting on a nest or about to. I would not be surprised if that's the exact same hen that I saw when I first got here. She doesn't seem too phased. Well, I'll let her go on about her business. And eventually, once she's cleared out, I'll bring the truck back up the hill. No way. There's another one. I just got the truck back up the hill, and there's another turkey hen up here. I think these must be young birds because they don't act the most experienced. But either way, there's a turkey hen out there. Not a care in the world. I mean, I'm literally right behind my house. haven't seen any all day except for like the last hour. So, who knows, maybe I should be afternoon hunting instead of morning hunting. But anyway, I think I'm done for today. Birds win this round. But that's okay. Well, that's all part of the experience and all part of the challenge. If it was easy, everyone would do it. So. But easy or not, I love it. Well, that's the important thing, is that you're having fun at the end of the day. So ultimately, this season I did not come home with Thanksgiving dinner in hand. But I did nonetheless enjoy my time outdoors, getting to experience nature on my own land. As I've said before, my family and I are incredibly fortunate to have land like this to call our own. It's a privilege not everyone gets to enjoy. I also learned a few things on what to do and what not to do when turkey hunting moving forward. Admittedly, I'm far more experienced with hunting whitetails than I am with turkeys, so at the very least this was a good learning experience for me. And despite the hunt being ultimately unsuccessful, I may have in a sense done the turkeys a bit of a favor. The truth is, wild turkeys have been experiencing significant decline in the past 10 years or so. In Oklahoma, while the 2026 Gobbler report shows a slight increase in some areas, the state overall has experienced a steady decrease in numbers in the last decade. Causes of this may include habitat destruction, low nest survival, and high mortality of brooding hens due to predation. In response to this decline, the State Wildlife Department has limited the spring bag limit from 3 bearded birds to just 1. In addition, the start of the spring season was delayed until April 16th, starting in 2022, when it previously began around April 6th. Doing so allowed breeding toms to reproduce more successfully before being harvested, and reduced overall disruption of the bird's breeding season by 10 days. I myself have noticed a gradual increase in the birds' numbers over the last few years, at least on my land. And this may be due to these recent conservation efforts. Hopefully with time and good practices, their numbers will increase to what they once were. So even though I was not successful on this hunt specifically, I can at least rest assured that I gave the turkeys a better chance of survival, which will in turn help preserve the sport for the next season, and perhaps seasons to come.